Hey guys, welcome back to another Helix video. So today I'm showing you a free preset that's built around the new 3.15 firmware for Helix that Line 6 just released. It's based on the new amplifier model and a handful of the new effects. So this could be a fun little starting point for your new patch builds with the new firmware 3.15. So let's go take a look. As always, the link for the preset will be in the description below. And let's take a look at the preset. Okay, so here we are taking a look at the preset. It is based on the new Von 2 amp model. Hope I'm saying that right. It's a boutique style Line 6 original amp, which I'm actually quite a big fan of so far, and I've not messed with it that long. Already really liking it. So the patch is primarily built around that. So I'm going to show you the amp tones first, and then as I turn effects on and off, we'll go over what's in there and why. So let's just start with the amp. Right now, you can take a look at the settings. The gain's pretty low, about 2.5. I'm going to play a little bit, bump the gain up, play a little bit, bump the gain up, play a little bit as a way to just give you an idea of the range of the amplifier. As far as there's the EQ and settings, everything's just, I kind of dialed it into what sounded good to my ears. So feel free to play around with that, of course, to suit your setup and your guitar and your playing. But all that out of the way, I'm just going to play a little bit. This is on the cleaner side of the amp model. Let's see how that sounds. So just a fantastic clean sound. I will mention, because the effect is active, I do have the dynamic room, which is one of the new reverbs in this preset. Back to the amp. So as you can hear, a nice full clean sound. But what I found cool about this, if I flip over to the bridge position and kind of hit it a little bit harder, I can still actually get a little bit of overdrive out of this in this configuration. So that's what this sounds like. So like, again, even though it's super clean, when I hit it just a little hard, which is pretty cool. I always like any amp model or amplifier that I can get from two different flavors of tone simply by how I play the guitar and the pickup selection I use. So always a good sign, in my opinion. So I'm going to bump the gain up here to about halfway up. And just kind of do the same thing, just so you can hear the difference. Wrong pickup position. Let's try that again. So you can still make out, even with a chord, you can make out the individual notes. But certainly you have some overdrive coming in, even with the lead stuff. You can hear that overdrive behind it. Flipping to the bridge position. Not unexpectedly, you hear a very similar tone with more gain. And that's another thing I like about an amp with a lot of tonal range, particularly with the drive and gain control. Back in the day when I used channel switching tube amps or channel switching amps, it was always such a kind of a shocking move a lot of the times to go from super clean to distortion. So I really appreciate amp models like this that kind of let you ramp up to an overdriven sound versus super clean, then taking your head off. So I really like the way this reacts. I'm going to push this all the way up to 10, just so we can get the full effect. Again, I'll do the same thing as I did before. So normally, a lot of times with real amps and amp models, I don't really like the sound of parameters pushed all the way to 10. But yeah, I don't hate that. I think this amp model seems to carry a pretty good tone all the way through its range of gain. So um, I could definitely see myself using this amp quite a bit. I'm a big fan of the Line 6 original amps anyway. I think Ben is a genius that is the sound designer there, and the Line 6 litigator. If they stripped every amp but the litigator out of Helix, nothing in my life would change. I would continue using it. Absolutely brilliant work. Okay, so let's take a look at the rest of the preset. I'm going to pull the gain back down to about 2.5 to get us back down to a clean bass. Tone, I put the Ampeg Opto compressor up front. Now, the compress parameter controls the ratio of the compression. And actually, if you're looking down at your Helix, you can see the amount of gain reduction. But as you can see, the ratio is pretty low. And I've got the level bumped a bit. So what I'm actually using this for is not as much for compression. I'm actually just using it to just drive the front end of the amp harder, which is going to push it more into an overdrive territory because you're hitting it with a lot hotter signal. So let's turn that on and see what we get. So with it off, we're back to, with it on, which I think sounds really good. The other cool thing I find is that with the drive a little more down in this amp model, I hear a bit more high end coming through and a bit more compression, and it feels a little darker with the gain cranked. So what I like about like using like this compressor in front of the amp, you're getting into that overdrive territory, and you actually are staying with the same tonal characteristics, you know, of where you were at with the lower gain setting on the amp. So that's pretty cool. I've done this before with like the deluxe comp, which I have one on down here, but I've done this quite a bit where I'll put a compressor at the front of the chain to push the amp harder. And I have to say, I really like what this one does. It's got a good sound to it. Keeping with the new Ampeg effects, the liquefier I've got after it's a chorus. To be perfectly honest, I'm not really all that into chorus effects. I can't say that I've ever even had one on a live patch I've used, unless it was for a very specific tone for a song. So I say that to say that I put this one in, and I like it. I don't remember if I changed the parameters much at all, if any at all. I might have bumped the depth up a little bit, but as you can see, it's pretty well middle of the road with the exception of the depth. So let me just let you hear what it sounds like. So I just think that that's kind of like the chorus sound I've always wanted to have, but never quite fell in love with other models, other chorus models. But I like that one a lot. So, you know, got that on there. If we drive the chorus sound a little bit, we get something to this effect. So it's pretty cool. This is without it. So in a way, I feel like it's not that the chorus is reducing the gain, but it does seem that you get a little clarity back when you put the chorus on after the drive. So pretty nice combination of pedals there. I'm liking the new Ampeg stuff. All right, coming down to this line, I alluded earlier, but I have a deluxe compressor here that nothing to do with the new updates. So I'm not going to spend time with that. This is the new Shimmer Reverb. I have it set for an octave up, octave down. You can change that to specific areas you want to do if you would like. I have the pitch balance even, so you could push if you wanted more octave up or more octave down if your settings were that way as mine are. that would balance between the two. I have them even. I have the pre-delay all the way back because I'm actually wanting because it's pitch shifted. I more want this to be an airy part of my tone more so than just a reverb effect, if that makes sense. So I don't want there to be, I want it to kind of come on pretty quick. So here's what that sounds like. So it's got that cool ambient sound. Although it could make you sleepy, so maybe that is the ambient sound. I don't know. New genre coming soon. All right. I have also the new Heliosphere reverb, which is basically a reverb that has, a delay that has reverb injected into the delays. According to the release notes, which you should take a minute to read over when you download the update. A lot of good information in there about what it can do. So I have this set up, a lot of feedback, really big, airy, ambient sound. So that's what this is. So as you can imagine, the next logical step would be to add the shimmer back in and see how ambient and swimmy and swelling and all that we can get. I don't think that those particular combination of words have ever been put together before. Anyway, here we go. And that's just fun. I like that stuff. So again, pretty basic preset, new amp, and then using two of the kind of pedal style effects, two reverbs, and a delay from the new update. Lots of other cool stuff in there. Like I said, check the release notes when you download. It'll give you all the information on all the new effects models, but also the new features that have been added. So just want to throw this up, give you guys a fun little patch to start with the new toys in there. So hope you enjoy it. If you do, please like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that stuff. You know what to do. So thanks for checking it out, and we'll catch you next time.